On Sunday, Washington University and St. Louis students living off of campus and their neighbors gathered to eat and mingle during a block party sponsored by Student Union. To many of these students, who live north of campus in the Rosedale Heights neighborhood, the concept of a block party is a novel one. In the past, the relationship between these students and their residential neighbors has more often been characterized by tensions over noise complaints than by neighborhood bonding. Cheryl Adelstein, the university's Director of Government and Community Relations, says that this is a result of a difference in lifestyles.
The reason that permanent residents complain about students in this area is really a lot of it is noise, especially late night noise. 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, loud noises in the alleys and up and down the streets that really wake up permanent residents who are, working people, people with families, senior citizens, people who don't keep student hours and need to get their sleep. Other problems we have are with littering and vandalism, public urination, that have just really last year reached a tipping point.
Last spring, these tensions reached a breaking point when the University City Police Department began to invoke a so-called zero-tolerance policy, under which students were penalized with citations and arrests after residents called the police with noise complaints. As an off-campus residential advisor, Senior Cleland tried to understand his residents' interactions with the police.
It did get to a few points last year where a lot of my residents felt unsafe, not because of a lack of police presence, but an excessive amount of police presence. A lot of my residents said that they were consistently followed and spotlighted very obviously, and a lot of them said it made them feel really uncomfortable and excessively targeted.
Senior Arian Hassanalizadeh witnessed residents' hostility toward noise complaints firsthand.
I know anytime there's an issue between residents and students, the residents' only avenue is to call the cops. Even a misunderstanding as simple as one time our band, the Noam Chomskys, was practicing at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Somebody thought that there was a party going on, called the cops, and 2 students ended up getting arrested. And I feel like having more coexistence between students and residents and some sort of civic association deal that is just like something to mediate that's not law enforcement or WUPD or any type of authority thing, just somewhere where residents can get to know their neighbors, and hopefully misunderstandings like that won't be able to continue.
This summer, student government and the administration began working on ways to cultivate better communication between students and their neighbors so that calling the police would become a matter of last resort. As a leader of student government, Cody Katz saw the need for other outlets.
Part of this is just getting to know each other, and we had the idea of having a block party where we invite students who live off campus, and on-campus students are welcome as well, and invite neighbors in the area to just meet them and establish those contacts. And we really wanted this to be a positive interaction. I'm sure the neighbors who live there are interested in what students are studying, what they're passionate about, what they do outside of, just the fact that they go to WashU. And also students could probably gain a lot from learning who their neighbors are. Just establishing this contact, we hope, will lead to a lot more interaction throughout the year, whereas if a problem does arise, they can deal with it just between the two of them. They can exchange phone numbers or email addresses. And maybe if the student wants to have a party, they can go up to the neighbor who they now know and say, hey, I'm having people over tomorrow night, I hope this is okay with you, rather than just doing it and having it be a large problem.
The truth is, student hours will always differ from the lifestyles of those who work from 9 to 5. But with better communication, many students, like senior Martin Mintz, hope that better understandings can be reached.
Last year was very much reactionary on the part of the U-City residents and stuff like that. From our perspective, it seemed like that, and this year it seems a little more preemptive. Like, we'll have, people kind of tell us that, you don't have a noise complaint, but you might get one if you keep your friends here and stuff like that, where, it's still, I don't know, it's still kind of a little weird, but I think it is a lot better. I think the students are handling a lot better, and I think that the WashU police are helping us, kind of help ourselves, kind of lead us in the right way without, really having to get to that point where people get thrown in jail, which is what happened last year.
His barbecue marked a big first step in getting to know one another. Tim Rice, who has lived in the Ames Place neighborhood since 1950, came to get to know his neighbors.
Well, nobody begrudges students or anybody else the right to have a little bit of fun and to get together with their friends, but there's I think everybody has to be conscious of the, of their neighbors.